everybody. Welcome back.
Headphones on too high there.
Yeah, are they?
I think you about scared the crap out of Justin.
Welcome back to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour live from the Robust Cannabis Studios here at K-Kid 92.9. This is that show where we bring the green wave to the airwaves, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. I have got a heck of a show planned out for you guys. First, I want to give a big shout out to my team. Got Steve at the wheel, Tim Harms, my co-host over here. We got our other co-host down in New Mexico, Justin Trowbridge, Route 66 Labs. What's going on down there, Justin? You all right? Can we hear you?
It's just cold, man. It's cold.
We have it worse, I bet.
It sounds like you do, but I'm still cold.
All right, so I want to thank you guys for putting together a good show. This is going to be a really good one. For my guest today, I've got Matt Curran. He's the digital marketing director for Show Me Organics. That's Blue Sage Cannabis Company, Vivid, Buoyant Bob, Missouri's Own Edibles. One of the sharpest teams out there. And we got a lot of news that we're going to kind of break that Vivid's got going on right now because adult use is here. And with that comes extreme growth in this industry. So we're going to talk about what that looks like on their side of the fence. And we got Ray from Weed, Weather, and Whatever. It's going to be our Christmas show. I don't know if you guys know this, but we've been doing this for 2 years now.
Wow.
Pretty wild, right?
Man, can you believe that?
I know.
It just doesn't seem like 2 years.
Yeah, over 100 shows.
And
Wow.
we're now adult use.
Right. We kind of always have been.
At least in studio.
Well, and Justin's been raving about adult use on the show for a while now. So I mean, we've been kind of introducing that. You know, for the listeners out there, it was kind of a decision that we made here on the show when we first started talking about adult use. Like, how much do we talk about rec on the show? Because it's kind of a medical show. We talk a lot about medical marijuana, endocannabinoid science, things like that. And we kind of made that decision that, you know, we think it's going to go the right way, and eventually it's going to anyway. So let's start talking about it. And that's when we got Justin. All right.
And onward we went.
Yeah. All right. So I told my team I had a game to play. Okay. I came up with this last night, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Wait, what time last night did you come up with this?
It was pretty late.
Great.
All right. So this is that show where sometimes we cough. I forgot to say that in the beginning because I'm coughing a little bit now. You guys know there's some pretty great Christmas-themed strains out there, cannabis strains, right? And there's some good ones. Jack Frost is one of them. Candy Canes. That sounds pretty good, right? Mm-hmm. Three Kings, kind of the wise men. Santa, that's an actual strain, Santa, just plain Santa. And Christmas trees, of course. And then Jesus OG, which I think is about as Christmassy as you can get there.
Got to be a sativa.
You know, I didn't check on that. I don't know. I imagine it would be though, or maybe.
What if it's Jesus OG?
Bro,
maybe it's not a Christmas one.
He's from New Mexico. So I don't know, bro. Like,
it took a little lag on that one, but you got it. You get it.
That's a good question. All right, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to play the real strain, fake strain game. Okay. Now I'm going to ask each of my three co-hosts here to answer a question on which of these strains is real and which one isn't. So we're going to go versa. Okay, here we go. All right, so for the first one, and Steve, we'll start with you. We'll go Steve, okay. Justin, and our Steve, Tim, and Justin. Okay. All right. Cat piss versus llama droppings. Steve, which one's real?
Llama droppings.
Cat piss.
Justin?
Man, I'll go llama droppings, sure.
It's cat piss for the win, Tim.
Thank you.
Good job, buddy. It's an old school strain. I thought Steve would have gotten that one.
That's why I went that way.
I'm not sure I'd want to smoke any cat piss either. You know,
apparently, it's a good strain.
Must have some really rank odor.
All right. Here's your next one. Okay, you tell me which one's real. Dolly Parton or Bob Saget? Which one's a strain?
Dolly Parton.
Which one?
Dolly.
Justin?
I'll go Bob Saget.
Justin for the win. It's Bob Saget has his own strain out there. I think Dolly Parton should have a really good strain. Like kind of a real top-heavy high.
You know, she's been getting some good stuff from Willie for years.
I know. There's lots of pictures of her smoking with Willie. That's a real thing that she smoked pot with Willie Nelson.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Here's your next one, guys. Purple poinsettia or purple reindeer?
Purple poinsettia.
Tim,
I'm going purple reindeer.
Justin.
I'll go poinsettia.
It's purple reindeer for the
Man,
win.
I
Good
haven't
job.
got one yet.
All right. Here you go.
And you're supposed to be the old guy here, right? You're the OG here.
Come on.
All right. Here's your next one. Kung Fu banana cakes versus Crouching Tiger, Hidden Alien. Kung Fu banana cakes versus Crouching Tiger, Hidden Alien.
Crouching tigers, hidden alien.
Okay.
Crouching
Kung Fu.
tigers.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Alien.
All
yeah.
right. Yeah, I'm going with that one.
Or Kung Fu banana cakes.
I'll go
I'm
Kung
going-
Fu banana cakes.
Okay, Justin.
Only because I think the last three, it's been the second option is the answer every time. I'll go with the alien option.
It is the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Alien. Kung Fu banana cakes is not a strain. I made all these other strains up, and I think that they're legitimate.
They're fire.
Companies should call me. I'm like, I'll name your strains for you. Like it's all good. Okay, all right. So, blue balls or blue maple syrup.
I'm going with blue maple syrup. I don't want no boo balls.
I'll take the blue balls.
Of course you would, Justin.
Thinking now you've changed up the
Why are you
strategy,
looking
I'll go with
down,
Tim. Blue
Justin?
balls.
You were complaining about how cold it was. Why are you looking down?
Because I'm laughing and trying not to say things on air that I shouldn't.
Maybe you're
All right. What was your
little blue down there.
what was yours, Justin?
Blue balls.
I'm not dreaming of a blue Christmas. Okay, so it is blue balls.
Blue balls.
All right.
Blue balls it is.
Right. All right. Helicopter hand grenade or brown bomber?
Brown bomber.
Helicopter.
Helicopter hand grenade. Okay. Justin?
Brown bomber.
It is brown bomber. That's the strain from Grandma's Boy, the movie. That's the strain they're smoking in Grandma's Boy. Yeah. All right. Super Cooper versus Schnazzleberry.
Schnazzleberry.
Take Snazzleberry too.
Yeah.
Justin?
Schnazzleberry.
I'll go Super Cooper.
It is the Schnazzleberry. For the win there. All right.
So who's in the lead now?
I think
Me?
all of us are in the lead.
All of us are in the lead.
Yeah,
You
You
are.
are 0-3 out of the gate.
I know it's old, but I haven't missed one since.
All right.
Once
All right.
Justin told us that it was the second answer.
All right. We
He's
got.
probably got the list from Waxy.
No, he doesn't.
anyway.
I swear he doesn't. He doesn't.
Nope. I
Nope.
know the creature that's reading them off, and I know how his
No,
brain
this is
works.
this dude knows me like
Creature
it's
being
not
the
good. All right.
Keyword.
All right. Constantine OG versus Conspiracy Kush.
I'll go with the conspiracy Kush.
Yep, conspiracy Kush.
Same.
It is Conspiracy Kush. Man, I really want a Constantine OG strain. It's fun to say. All right. Here's one to have a little fun with. Okay. Which one is it? Buddha's sister or Buddha's better half?
Buddha's better half.
Sister.
Sister.
It is Buddha's sister. That was a good one too. All right, here you go. All right, Pajama Panorama versus Lucifer.
I'm gonna go with Lucifer.
I think you're saying that because you can't say Pajama Panorama.
Pajama panorama. But I'm going with Lucifer.
Okay,
I'll take the pajama.
Pajama Panorama. Okay, what about you, Justin?
I'll go pajama panorama. Blah, blah.
It is Lucifer. That's a good one, Steve.
Damn.
Steve got it. No, you got it, Steve.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
All right.
Damn.
Steve's Googling them.
All right, this one goes out to New Mexico here. Is it the Heisenberg Kush or is it the Lotus Lambo? Heisenberg Kush or Lotus Lambo?
I'm gonna go with the Lotus Lambo.
Yep, I'm a Lambo guy.
Lotus Lambo. Okay, what about you, Justin?
I'm going Lambo too.
It is the Heisenberg Kush.
Ooh,
Oh
we're
man.
all wrong.
That's the guy from Breaking Bad. All right, here we go. All right, Kongzilla Drip versus Chernobyl. Kongzilla Drip versus Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
It's not your turn.
Oh, I forgot. Well, I wanted that one first because I'm pretty confident on that one.
All right,
Can you repeat those strains for me,
you
please?
bet. You bet. Sorry about that, Steve. We have a flag on the play. All right, is it Kongzilla Drip or Chernobyl?
Let's go.
Kongzilla Drip or Chernobyl?
Kongzilla Drip.
Chernobyl.
Justin.
I'll go with Chernobyl for obvious reasons.
You're correct. It is Chernobyl Kongzilla drip. I made that one up, but that sounds really good. All right. All right. Whistle kisser versus snot. Whistle kisser versus snot.
I'm not going to take snot, so it's got to be whistle kisser. I'm really hoping.
You're going with whistle kisser.
I'm all over snot.
I believe you would be. Justin, what about you? What do you got?
I could see a grower naming it snot, so I'm going to go with snot.
The answer is snot whistle kisser. It's snot. Snot is the real answer.
Snot.
Yeah, but anybody that wants to trademark the whistle kisser, get a hold of me.
How gooey you suppose that is?
Whistle kisser?
No, snot.
Oh, it's going to be sticky. It's going to be sick, bro. All right, so
Trade you a green one for a red one.
right.
Ugh.
All right. All right. Here's your next one. Candlestick sticky fire. That's candlestick sticky fire or unicorn poop. Steve, candlestick sticky fire or unicorn poop.
Unicorn poop.
How about
Candlestick.
candlestick sticky fire?
Yeah.
All right, Justin.
I'm pretty sure I've seen unicorn poop, so I'll go with that one.
It is the unicorn poop. Candlestick sticky fire isn't real. Unicorn poop is apparently a good strain. All right, now lie detector versus truth serum. Lie detector versus truth serum. Which one's a real strain?
Lie detector.
Lie detector.
Truth serum.
Justin for the win there. Truth serum is the
Really?
strain. Yeah, lie detector is not real. All right. All right, here you go. Hubba Bubba Smelloscope.
That sounds like one you made up. But I'll take the second one.
Take it before he hears it. Okay. All right. So Hubba Bubba Smelloscope, and you have to say it if you pick it. Hubba Bubba Smelloscope versus Put Your Bottom in the Couch.
Ooh, yes. Put your bottom in the couch.
Okay.
I'm going to stick with my original answer.
Put your bottom in the couch. Okay.
I'll go Hubba Bubba.
Hubba Bubba Smelloscope. Justin?
I'm going to go Hubba Bubba Smelloscope too.
Hubba Bubba Smelloscope is the strain. Put your bottom in the couch is not.
So you just made all these up last night.
No, I did most of these just a little while ago. I got really stoned into this. I thought of the idea last night. Yeah. All right. All right. Here's your last one. Okay.
All right.
Peyote's cookies versus lemon dragon breath. Peyote's cookies versus lemon dragon breath.
I'm going to go with the lemon dragon breath.
Yep. Lemon.
Yeah.
Justin?
I'll go lemon as well.
Lemon dragon breath is not the strain. Peyote's
Oh.
cookies is the strain. Yeah.
Wow.
That lemon dragon's breath sounded so good.
I would
though,
smoke
man.
that. That's
I would
fire.
too.
Let's go over all the fake names again so that we can talk about the good ones here. We got llama droppings, you got Dolly Parton, purple poinsettia, kung fu banana cakes, blue maple syrup, helicopter hand grenade. I thought that was really good there. Super Cooper, that's fake. Cranberry Clinton. Did I do that one?
No.
Very
I don't
fun.
remember
Oh, I
that
didn't
one.
do that.
Oh.
We missed that one.
I'll go with whatever the other one was for the win.
Barack Obama. I don't want to talk about this. We had Constantine OG. We had Buddha's Better Half. We had Pajama Panorama. We had that Lotus Lambo. That does sound fire. Like if I'm into cars, I'm buying that. That's dope. We got Kongzilla Drip. I think that one was dope. Whistle Kisser, Candlestick Sticky Fire, Lie Detector, Put Your Bottom in the Couch. That's the one Steve was just absolutely sure about.
Positive.
And then Lemon Dragon Breath. Hit me up, Robust. We'll get that going immediately. I don't know how to grow weed, but I can name them real well. I don't think there's a market for that. But
Hey, speaking of robust, today I was in a shop in Columbia, and they were talking about inside there. There were quite a few people inside talking about how good robust flour is.
yeah, it's terpy.
Yeah,
Yep.
They've got some.
they've got a good reputation out on the street.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're getting known for not only being organic and sustainable, but that terp profile. It's out of this world.
Yep.
Their strains are insane. Well, we've got some real special things coming up with Robust over the next month and a half or so, where we're gonna do some pretty cool projects that Justin's put together with those guys.
Yeah, I'm really happy for him. I mean, I'm obviously
For Justin,
but no, not Justin. For robust.
oh. No, I am too. I think they're one of the sharpest teams on the planet. Before we take off to a little bit of Christmas music on the FM side and play a little bit of our commercials on the podcast side. Justin, real quick, can you let folks know where we're at before I talk a little bit about cultivation?
Yeah. So we're up on Facebook. So it's Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour Interactive. So if you make a comment in real time, we might even put it on the screen for anyone watching the video. You can go on YouTube and just look for Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour, or we're live streaming on Twitter now for at least the time being till they throw us off at, I believe it's at Waxy Brown FPH is our handle on there. So
perfect.
They ain't kicking us off. Elon smokes weed. Why would he do that?
I caught another.
I don't know.
I caught another 30-day ban on Facebook today for promoting Besame Wellness having robust $20 eighths. So Besame Wellness has robust $20 eighths out there for anybody that wants them. Old Mark Zucker turd got me again. All right, so if you're not into jumping into a dispensary and getting your flower there, Missouri is a home cultivation state. And so I want to let folks know a little bit about the rules that are going to start here in February. Starting around February, I believe that to be February 6th. That's the date that the DHSS has to release all this. Whether or not they do it early, that could be a thing. Starting around February, those 21 and older can apply to the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services, that's DHSS, for a home cultivation card. That's anybody in Missouri, whether you have a medical card or not. That license is going to cost you a $100 bill. Now, here's what you can grow. You can do 6 flowering plants, 6 non-flowering plants over 14 inches tall, and 6 non-flowering plants under 14 inches tall, for a total of 18 plants. You can't go over that at any time, and whatever you grow cannot be seen by the public. So picture, a tall privacy fence that somebody can't look over and secured and locked, and that's basically an outdoor patient cultivation under those kind of circumstances.
That's so weird, though, that people can't, you can't see it. Why not?
Honestly,
going to florist, the flowers.
Sure. I have a friend of mine, a friend of Indica's as well. Jen, she's probably listening, but we've had some people get plants stolen. So it's not necessarily, it's kind of for your own protection a little bit, because if people are trespassing on your property to get to cannabis that they can see, that they don't want to, maybe there's some jerk that doesn't want to go through that life cycle of that plant and put all that hard work into it. So for me, I look at it from the other side, like, let's protect these plants and protect our medicine so that we're able to hold on to that medicine and use the allotted amount that we're given. So there's a lot of reasons for it, I think, and that's the flip side, I think, of what I'm thinking about. But yeah, I agree. I wish it could be out there, just in my dad's backyard like a tomato. But my dad's neighbors aren't all great. You know what I mean? So I don't want people going into my dad's yard and messing with my dad. It all comes down to my dad, bro.
I get it.
Yeah. When
I was driving back today, I drove by one of those Christmas tree stands, where they're selling Christmas trees.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wouldn't that be cool if those are big old weed plants?
Yeah. You guys remember that movie Fred Claus with Vince Vaughn, where he plays?
Oh yeah.
In one of those scenes, if you watch him go into the house, the Christmas tree behind him is not a Christmas tree. There's a giant growing cannabis plant behind Vince Vaughn in the house, and it's kind of blurry, and you can't really tell. But once you see it, you can't unsee it ever again.
Yeah.
It's pretty good stuff. All right, guys. So we're going to cut to a little bit of a song, and when we get back, I'm going to talk to you guys about a little bit more Christmas stuff, and it's going to be a good show. Justin, appreciate you handling the digital side of everything on that side, buddy. Let's give them what they got. You guys are listening to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour live from the Robust Cannabis Studios at KKID 92.9 Salem, Rolla.
Robust Cannabis.
People always ask me, how do you do it?
What's your secret? How long did it take? What kind of dedication do you have? How do you do it every day? Well, the truth is, I'm high as shit most of the time, and I wax off a lot. I mean a lot.
We're the best. High quality. Unique. Premium brand. Different. Unique. Premium high quality. We're different. We're different. Premium brand.
What the hell are you doing?
Hiding.
Not very well.
Let's do it! Come on!
There's a bomb. How about a bomb?
There's a bomb. There's a bomb.
There's a big bomb.
Where?
Look at this. Oh man.
Like right now, I still got a half day's work left. Half day's work with work. I still have a half day's worth of work to do.
Truth be told, I smoke a lot of weed.
Hey, Green, I still have work to do.
Listen to the sound of my voice. You are getting sleepy. You want to wax off. You need to wax off. Donde está la biblioteca? Where is the library? You will wax off as soon as you can. Wax off. Good. Wax off.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour, brought to you live from the Robust Cannabis Studios at KKID 92.9. Let's think about that for a second. Live from the Robust Cannabis Studios. That's pretty wild, man. Like, it's been a heck of a year for us here. Lots of support from a lot of really cool cats out there.
Absolutely. You know, just to be in the ground floor of things and watching it take off and seeing these guys, start from scratch in what they're producing now and the volume and it's just cool. It's cool to see it all happening, man. Right in front of your eyes.
Yeah, it's been a wild one. We've made a lot of friendships over this year, including down there in New Mexico, the Dab Dads, man. I've been watching them do their podcast, and they're having a lot of fun down there, Justin. I want to do an actual episode where we bring them on.
You'll have to say that again, Justin. I'm
we
sorry.
Couldn't hear you, Justin.
I had it muted. That's my bad. The Dab Dads, they're going full time with it, man. Lalo's gonna jump in and do that full time and go after it like a full show. So they're chasing the dream of being dads that can do the good normalization that they do and have some fun with it too. So
yeah, it's really cool. And I know Top Shelf over there in Kansas City, those guys, they're doing really well with their podcast. They got lots of growth over there. They've moved over to LinkedIn and a whole bunch of different spots too. And of course Ray, whatever her podcast is always a lot of fun, a lot of good times. So lots of cool friends out there in the digital space, man. Lots of good stuff. All right, so I want to talk about sometimes the bad parts of Christmas here. This one's a little strange. Okay. All right. So
what, you got your in-laws coming over?
no, I don't have those anymore. Yeah,
I don't have those anymore.
a drug game. Listen up.
My bad.
A drug gang. Listen to this now. Now, this is a big thing. This happened
Okay,
in
all right.
Peru, okay?
All right.
A drug gang dreaming of a white Christmas found they were definitely on the naughty list when they were rumbled by Father Christmas and his elves. Sounds
Ooh.
interesting, right? Police in Peru dressed up as Santa and his helpers to appear inconspicuous during the drug bust. Officers stormed the building in Cerrillo and Lima, breaking tradition from Santa's usual methods by breaking down the door rather than heading down the chimney to cuff the group. Okay, this happened in Peru. It being Christmas, this is what the police official said. It being Christmas, a Santa in the street does not attract much attention, and we use this to our advantage for this operation, police official David Villanueva told Peruvian TV. In footage of the raid, the festively dressed up police officers can be seen running down the street towards the building before one of Santa's helpers swings at the door with a huge hammer. The door immediately gives and the elves force their way in, closely followed by officers in more standard uniform. They then they cuff them before they're led away to a police van. Meanwhile, other officers can be seen searching the premises and finding what appear to be drugs and some weapons. Now, they said that the suspects, made up of 3 men and a woman, initially thought the raid was a joke. Now, fittingly, the bust was named The Fall of the Chicago Grinch, after the green monster who stole Christmas and the town's nickname of Little Chicago. The police seized over here. You want to know what they got? What Santa scored that day? Okay. He got 6,000, and I don't know how they measure drugs in Peru, but it's not how we do it here. They got 6,000 small packets of cocaine paste, 104 packets of cocaine powder, and 279 wraps of marijuana. I don't know what the wraps of marijuana mean. I guess bags, probably like pounds or something like that, I'm sure.
Bricks.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But can you imagine what that scene was like? Like the people outside who like see Santa and like the elves and stuff, they're probably like, oh, cool, Santa and elves. Then all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose, and Santa's elves start knocking down doors. There's guns and police. Like, if I'm a child at that point, like, I'm not sure if I want to argue whether Santa's real or not. I just want to stay the hell away from him.
Yeah, that's not a good deal for law enforcement to do.
I think it's kind of rains on Santa a little bit.
I agree.
But
It should have been the Grinch.
See, now I'm going here with this one. The Grinch has got a I'm gonna say it like this. People go hard on the Grinch and Scrooged and both of those guys, okay? Like if I don't like Christmas, people say, oh, you're being a Grinch, or oh, you're being a Scrooge. Well, those are actually 2 stories of people that really made right in the end, okay? They helped. They weren't, Scrooge in the end believed in Christmas and gave presents to all the kids. And the Grinch did the same thing. He made up with the Whoville people and everything like that. So I don't know. I think we need to bring back the idea that the Grinch and Scrooge are the good guys here.
Well, technically, the Grinch didn't hate Christmas. He just hated people. And the people singing and all that, he hated that. So he got over his hate of people, and then he fell in love with Christmas in the process.
And see, and the thing is, I think it's kind of like, I think he didn't like the commercialization of Christmas because he was kind of a hermit, right? So he didn't like the commercialization of it. I don't think these guys are going to go take a stroll through Walmart or anything like that. So like, I think it's kind of rude to Grinch now that they use him to sell all kinds of anti-Christmas messages. Like I feel like I'm going to lobby for this guy.
Yeah.
Grinch.
He needs a defense fund.
Yeah. Hey, Steve.
Yes.
How much did Santa's sleigh cost?
Talking dollars or
the
Jesus.
heated one?
Yeah, the heated,
Well, how much did Santa's sleigh cost you think?
I'm thinking
Hey, Steve.
about $250.
It was on the house.
It was on the house.
Get it? I got another one for you. Which of Santa's reindeer are dinosaurs afraid of? Comet. That's awful.
That is
That is an
awful.
awful joke.
Yeah, we're cutting you off.
Was this late last night too?
Yeah. All right. So I got another one for you. Oh wait, do we got our Blue Sage guy on yet?
Yeah, Mac's on the line here. I guess we'll call it that.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's bring on Mac. I forgot.
Oh no, we get to stop the terrible jokes and bring on somebody who can
I was
talk
going to
about
talk
cannabis.
about something else, but I got lots of good stuff for you. All right, folks, we're going to welcome to the program Matt Curran. He's the digital marketing director for Show Me Organics. That's Blue Sage Cannabis Company, Vivid Extracts, Buoyant Bob, Missouri's own edibles, some of our favorite products out there. Hey, Mac, welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me.
You betcha. Hey, Mac, I want to talk a little bit about these companies that we got going on here, Vivid and the new flower and all that stuff. But first, I want you to kind of take us on a walk yourself, how you got to where you're at with this company, and kind of give us your path to cannabis. How'd you get to the plant?
Well, let's see. How did I get to the plant? Initially, I kind of started out, well, I'm from St. Louis, born and raised. I'm 36. I grew up in U City, Missouri. So like, if you guys are familiar with the Delmar Loop area, Delmar Loop area. And being from U City, it was something that we did early on as kids. It was a thing that originally, as you know, that we've struggled with in the culture, you know, it was one of those things that was kind of like lumped in with drinking.
Right.
Originally, my original experience with it, you know, that Mexican brick weed, seeds and stems, dime bags, the whole lot, you know. And I remember before I had my license, I was walking my dog down the street to pick up QPs and selling at my local high school. And then as I moved my way into adulthood, I kind of fell away from cannabis, and I ended up getting completely sober in 2013. And when I got sober in 2013, I worked my way into marketing through other areas. I was in entertainment and nightlife. And, you know, I was always keeping an eye on the industry. I have a lot of friends that are really passionate about it. It was always something that I supported wholly. But when I first got sober, it just wasn't for me yet. When I found out there was an opportunity to work in cannabis, this is kind of funny. I found this wonderful marketing role in cannabis, and in the process of learning about kind of what had happened to the industry, what had happened to the plant, what was going on, the science behind the science behind everything. As I started to learn all this stuff, I was like, holy shit, all of this stuff affects me.
Hey, Mac.
Pardon me.
We're on the FM. We'll have to be a little. You're good.
Sorry. I was like, holy cow, all this stuff affects me. This plant is for me. You know, I was doing all this research to try to have integrity to market the plant. And I was learning all about it again. And everything that I was learning was like, wow, there are strains that help your body metabolize food better. There are strains that help you metabolize sweat better, so you sweat less. There are strains that help you with sleep. There are strains that help people with CPTSD. And I started learning all this stuff about it, and I was like, I can't in good faith possibly continue to learn about this plant again and learn how to market it from a career standpoint and not integrate it back into my life.
That's a very interesting angle, because you defined in the beginning of the story, you defined sobriety as basically with nothing, and so I've often thought the same thing, that sobriety can include cannabis, because we have an endocannabinoid system, and there's lots of research out there that says it can help with all the struggles that you were struggling with back then. So it's really cool to hear you come back around to the plant, man.
Yeah, it was a very cool experience to be, you know, 35, 36 years old, completely sober, and then revisit the plant from this angle of medicine and this angle of healing and this angle of, you know, kind of relief, where, like, you know, when I was a kid, I was in school in the 90s and the early 2000s, and the only education we had on it outside of DARE was, you know, Cheech and Chong, How High, Higher Learning, you know, these movies like this. And so, you know, as a little kid, you kind of glorified it as you know, as the goofy drug or the happy drug. But I think that I had a really cool opportunity to revisit it with all of this education behind it, where it wasn't like, I wasn't reaching it from a place of like, oh my God, it's going to do this goofy thing to me, or, oh, I'm going to get faded, or, oh, I was really learning about it from the medicinal standpoint, and then kind of fusing those two things together. Yeah, I'm a everyday smoker now, a heavy dabber. I smoke almost entirely hash rosin and make my rounds through local growers as best I can through the state. You know, buying from home cultivars, and obviously working in the industry. I'm a huge supporter of the industry. And now it's like, yeah, it's what I do every day. I talk about it online every day, kind of like you guys. We have a segment on Vivid called The Daily Dab, where we do a daily dab of information for our viewers. Sometimes we talk about strains. Sometimes we talk about different dispos. I'd imagine sometime, Waxy, that we'll invite you on. I'd love to have you on at a point in time. I'll have to come down to Rollins.
On my way, watch out.
But yeah, it's, please, on your way. Head my way, please.
Yeah, so I want to kind of touch on a little bit of what you touched on, Mac, and that's the brands that you're working for out there, which is Show Me Organics, Blue Sage, Vivid, Boy and Bob, Missouri's Own Edibles. There's definitely this vibration with all of their brands where it's not they're doing well, and I imagine that your team has a lot to do with this. They're signaling to the patients through all this branding, through the fun but still medical side, that they're still here to support the medical market and support the patients that want to find the medicine through a medicinal conversation. But there's also, you know, the products are just screaming, you know, recreational, the coffee pods, the potato chips, the teaming up with Missouri companies like that. It's almost the perfect blend of marketing. So kudos, man. I know Justin, we talk about that all the time with those guys.
Oh yeah.
Justin's our marketing guy down on our side of the fence, man. He does some pretty cool stuff. So it'd be good to have a conversation about this. So let's talk a little bit about that. When we talk about
Did I lose you guys? Sorry.
No, you're good. Well, I was talking. You're good.
That all encompassing thing. It's funny that you brought that up, because it's what took me. Tony and I had a long talk about it today, because I was very taken by that at Blue Sage. I think Blue Sage has a very, a very organic feel. You know, it's almost like going to your local. I don't know if you guys ever, whenever you were younger, but before Walgreens came around, you had a local pharmacy.
Sure, we got bunches of them.
Pharmacist, and your kids knew where the candy was in the candy aisle, and you knew, and they carried special things for you. And Blue Sage kind of gave me that feel, like an old Williams pharmacy in my neighborhood. And I think that that's really important to continue having the conversation, because yeah, rec may look like to us really cool products and really cool branding and really cool marketing opportunities. But, for the patient, and I mean the med patient, for the med patient, all of those things could pay off as great medicine as well. We can't forget to advertise, or at least educate ourselves on, there is a use for the Red Hot Riplets medicinally.
Sure.
Really do not like, some people really are big on savory. Some people, their palate isn't for fruit. They don't enjoy gum, whatever it is. You crunch those things up and put them in macaroni and cheese, and all of a sudden you're medicated.
Right.
We don't think about these things that way, where we're like, we're doing it to be cool, like
right.
Waxy, like we're doing it to be cool, but like it actually, we can't forget the patient in that. And you touched on it to begin with. I joined this group because of the team. It really is the team. I can't speak more to the passion of the guys, but also it's a group that communicates really well. So there's not a lot of yellow tape to hop through when they want to get something done. They all kind of, it's like this, a call happens like this, and they're like, okay, do you guys want to move forward with this? All right, cool. Who's got to do what? Let's move. It's not hey, let's make an email thread to talk about the meeting that we're going to then talk about the email thread and the meeting about,
Right. Yeah, I definitely think you guys are putting the fun and functional with a lot of these products. I actually got the chips right away and made a delicious medicated bologna sandwich out of it. pretty great. Let's talk about growth a little bit, because obviously you're going to have a handle on this. So we just flipped the green light to adult use from medical, which means a lot more patients are going to come through those doors, a lot more customers, a lot more folks are going to want to know a lot more. And I know you guys have some pretty big growth opportunities right now. Let's talk about what you guys have happening in Lebanon and in Carthage right now, or that's about to happen.
Oh, cool. Okay, so Carthage actually, this is really cool. If I had it my way, I would have sent those guys down there with hard hats and had them standing there with a gold shovel and done a ribbon cutting ceremony, because I'm a marketer. If I'm a connoisseur, I'm a marketer too, man. And
You bet.
They broke ground in Carthage, the new Blue Sage. Basically, both of the locations are being rebuilt from the ground up. They're going to be completely designed by, they're working with a general contractor team, and the blueprints are for them to be their own freestanding establishments. This is basically Blue Sage's way of trying to capture what they've already established at those venues, being kind of more mom and pop, around the deli, around the conversation, trying to keep that wholesome vibe, but in a manner that can help, or in a manner where it cannot be disrupted by how much more volume they're going to have.
Right. So
both building out, from pickup orders, to go windows, that sort of stuff, so that you can come in and get a full body experience while you're there if you need to. But if you're on the rush to go, there'll be to go orders through iPads, that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Like they're putting in a lot of they're facilitating the speed that's going to come with recreational without taking away from that kind of one-on-one experience.
I think it's really cool what Missouri is going to experience right now, because we're going to see right now we're sitting, I think, just under 11,000. It might be a little over 11,000 jobs now in the cannabis industry in Missouri. I believe that's going to double pretty quickly. So, I imagine more jobs are going to come from this, more POS systems. I think each of the Blue Sage right now has 3 registers.
Oh God, it's going to double.
Yeah, it's going to have to. Yeah, wild stuff. So let's talk a little bit about one of my favorite brands out there, and that's the Buoyant Bob brand. That's the value brand that Vivid has. Are you part of any of the marketing behind the Buoyant Bob stuff?
Yeah, so I just joined the Buoyant Bob team, and it's actually interesting for me from a marketing standpoint. It's a little intimidating because it's all done so well already. I don't know what to bring into the fold, because I really I think the idea behind Buoyant Bob, we're all a different version of Buoyant Bob. We're all a different we all float through life differently through our own cannabis journey. I really align with that a lot. And I think it's light and fun and friendly and a great Missouri brand. I only wonder what else I can add to it, because I think I really do love that brand a lot.
Yeah, I can't imagine, with all the there's gonna be so many good experiences coming to Missouri when it comes to expos, conventions, things like that. It'll be really cool to introduce all these other states to what Missouri looks like, and you guys are really building that out for us through your marketing, and we appreciate that, because almost everything that you guys do shines a light directly onto the Missouri culture, which is pretty wild. I know I'm like Buoyant Bob. I like hitting the river with my floaty on and having a good time.
It's so affirming to hear that. Because me being a city boy, especially, I need to be reminded of what the rest of my state, the majority of my state, does on a day-to-day basis. I'm over here trying to link with, which we're gonna do. Don't get me wrong, but I'm in St. Louis City trying to link with rappers and chefs and that sort of thing, and I forget. In contemporary artists, but I forget, at the heart and core of Missouri, that we are, for lack of a better term, the heartland, and that a lot of activities spent by a lot of people, all through college, I was really good about spending a lot of time outdoors. I think Buoyant Bob and Missouri Zone both align with that a lot. We have a lot of cool stuff coming with Missouri Zone as well. That'll be really Missouri oriented, educational. We're going to try to tie in, basically how to enjoy Missouri to the fullest with cannabis.
Yeah, they just won an award out in Vegas for the Missouri Zone edibles, and it was really cool to watch them win an award in another state that was all about because they highlighted our state. So I absolutely love that. And then, all you cats are from around here too, which we really, really dig, man. All right. Well, I think that's going to be the end of this segment. Mac, I want to have you on a lot more because I think we can talk more about, I want to talk more about like the alternative advertising, branding, marketing, and the way we move these plants about the building. Because let's be honest, packaging nowadays, High Times just reported that it's something like 51% of users or something like that are going towards the packages rather than the quality of flower and stuff, which is kind of strange to me. So, but I think that's an important conversation. So, Mac, I appreciate you very much.
Man, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, Waxy.
Yeah, any big shout outs for your team before we let you go?
Holy moly.
Holy moly. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what? I could shout out the corporate level guys all day long because I see them and I'm friends with them. But honestly, I really want to shout out the people that I haven't met yet that are part of Show Me Organics, because the teams at Blue Sage, Lebanon and Carthage,
I think we lost
and
him.
the teams at the Grow. Sorry, I got cut off there. The
No,
teams
you're
at the
good.
Grow have been putting out a product that before I worked for them, I was proud to smoke.
So that's another one I guess we should bring up, is that Vivid has their own cultivation now in Kansas City. And I had a phone call with Tony and Murph, and both of them, that they just couldn't stop talking about the quality of the plant that's coming out of there. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see. Mac, we really appreciate you, brother. We'll catch you back on the show, man. Yeah, you stay waxy, my friend.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much.
We are going to play on the podcast side of things. We're going to play the Blue Sage Cannabis Company cartoon and song for those guys there for a Christmas present for Vivid.
We like that. We like that a lot, man. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, you bet, fam. All right, guys, we're gonna catch Mac at another time. You guys are listening to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour live from the Robust Cannabis Studios at K-Kid 92.9. We'll be right back.
Robust Cannabis has
Blue Sage, America's Cannabis Deli. Oh, come on in, see your buds, and say hello. We got plenty of fine folks, one with a belly. What kind are you? A gummy or jelly?
Oh yeah.
Hi, bud. Good to see you.
Well, hi.
Come see your buds and say hi. Questions, yeah. Answers too. Buds and flower we've grown for you. Weed's legal now. You won't get arrested.
We've got a dab bar.
We're clean and quality tested. Local, organic, so touch, look, and smell. Put a bounce in your step, leave feeling swell.
Hi, bud. Good to see you.
Well, hi.
Come on in, bring your friends and questions. We're happy to help, ain't nobody stressing. Blue Sage, America's Cannabis Deli. Visit bluesagecanna.com. Now open in Lebanon and Carthage. Come see your buds and say hi.
People always ask me, how do you do it? What's your secret? How long did it take? What kind of dedication do you have? How do you do it every day? Well, the truth is, I'm high as shit most of the time, and I wax off a lot. I mean a lot.
Different. We're the best. High quality. Unique. Different. Unique. High quality. We're different. We're different. Premium brand.
What the hell are you doing?
Hiding.
It's not very well.
Let's do it! Come on!
There's a bomb. How about a bomb? There's a bomb. There's a bomb.
There's a big bomb.
Where?
Look at this. Oh man.
Like right now, I still got a half day's work left. Half day's work with work. I still have a half day's worth of work to
Hey everybody, welcome back to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour live from the Robust Cannabis Studios at K-Kid 92.9. You're listening to K-Kid 92.9 Salem Rolla. I forgot that's why we came back on.
No, the song was over too.
Okay, good. Okay, we had to do a legal ID. That's what that's called in radio. We should
I wonder what people were doing while that song was playing.
let's go. I bet that most of the listeners.
Widespread panic, right?
Hey, listen, if you're listening to the show,
Frank Zappa before that.
Yeah, Zappa. It's his birthday.
Don't eat the yellow snow.
Happy birthday, Frank Zappa. Too.
Yeah,
That's
happy
good
birthday,
advice,
Frank.
though.
Right, that is good advice.
Yeah.
It'll pay off the long run.
I agree. All right, let's talk about some cool stuff that's happening out there in the cannabis world. Okay, all right. This is happening in Southern California today. All right, Santa Claus is coming to town this year, loaded up with cannabis deliveries available at locations in Southern California. Give the gift almost everyone wants this holiday season: weed. For the time period beginning December 19th and running through Christmas Eve, December 24th. The dispensary's MJ will send a cannabis delivery courier dressed as Santa Claus to deliver orders throughout LA and San Diego. It's one of the most creative holiday sales gimmicks we've seen in a long time within the cannabis retail space. In the spirit of the Christmas season, MJ is trying a different marketing approach this year, giving the company and its leadership a chance to be extra festive. Extra festive. We're always looking for ways to use the MJ platform to uplift people's cannabis experience, and so we're happy to have Santa-dressed couriers delivering orders to our customers this holiday season, said their CEO. Having Santa couriers is an exciting and festive addition to our offering and for delighting our customers this time of the year. I think that's pretty cool.
So they just have Santas, or can you choose between like Santa or an elf, or maybe like somebody dressed like a reindeer, one of the reindeers,
or like a Grinch, but like he doesn't give you weed.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He brings He brings you brick weed.
Do they have search warrants from the earlier conversation we had, or no? Or how does that work?
That's what I'm saying. After reading that last article, Santa showed up at my door. I'm like, no, man, this is happening today. I call Steve for bail.
Boom, boom, boom. Happy holidays. Search warrant. Boom. And all of a sudden they're right in the door.
But I think it's cool. I think dispensaries that are doing cool stuff like that, because think that could make Easter like a totally different thing. But think about what you could do for Valentine's Day if you're this dispensary and you've got like, you could have, what are those singing dudes? The singing telegram people? You could have like, Steve, you could do Cheech.
I could
show.
I could do. Yeah.
Hey, I'm here with your Valentine's Day present, man. It could be a lot of fun. Like, I think that's really cool.
So do you think that they would deliver to a church? So like if I was sitting in church and I put an order on my phone, would they deliver it to me?
If
Absolutely.
I'm the driver, I am. Yeah, Justin is.
Yeah, totally.
It's God's plan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
I guarantee you, Joe Brown up Michigan would get your weed.
Yeah, Father Joe Brown would love to deliver to the church.
Right.
I'm sure.
See, I think we need to start a church here in Rolla. You know, the Ozarks.
No,
green. What we get some kind of
Church of Cannabis. There you go.
There's a fine line between church and cult with some of this stuff too.
There's
Steve.
also a fine line. Let's just be real. There's also a fine line of which churches you can send Santa Claus in at all. Period.
Churches?
You walk in whether he's got weed or not.
Santa Claus into a witch church, though.
No,
that's probably not.
You can only send witches into witch churches.
Right. That's right.
Yeah. Oh Lord. All right. So here's another cool thing happening out there. Inside New York City's most luxurious weed nightclub and pizzeria. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
An exclusive tour of Stoned Pizza. Stoned Pizza is the name of it. A weed nightclub and speakeasy run by the infamous Pizza Pusha. Now, I don't know who this guy is, but his name's Pizza Pusha.
I like it.
Pusha. Pizza Pusha. This is New York City's first true social consumption success story and could very well set the model for 420-friendly venues across the United States. Now, it offers it's a weed nightclub run by Pizza Pusher. His name's actually Chris Barrett. He makes the best THC laden slice in New York City. He claims the best pizza for. So here's what it's going to cost you, Steve, if you're interested in ever going here, and I'll go with you for $140. Okay, 140 clams. Guests at the nightclub are offered a 3-course infused meal, unlimited cannabis cocktails, live music, and more. Now, unlimited cannabis cocktails, like I'm in at 140 right there. And you throw me, because listen, you're not going to get me off the bar. Right? I don't know how many milligrams till they throw me out. I don't know how. I'll be the first one. I don't know how that works. But so guests at the nightclub, they get 3-course infused meal, unlimited cannabis cocktails, live music, plus it's a bring your own cannabis, and there's a dispensary inside.
Wow.
So you can bring your own bud if you want to. He's not charging you extra for that. Or you can buy their stuff, which I can imagine there's some pretty good quality bud inside an establishment like that. So you can smoke as much as your heart desires while munching on pot-filled pizza. Now, this is New York City's first true consumption club, and looks like it's going to end up branching out into other ones, which would be really cool. So this looks like the author tried their weed-infused pizza, their weed-infused wings, weed-infused garlic knots, and their weed-infused cocktails, all while getting a lay of the land in the elegant space. They said that by the time they left, they had consumed about 100 milligrams of THC.
That's not that bad.
Yeah, that's right. And they said they were almost crawling up the stairs on the way out. Now,
I'm gonna lightweights.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna have to give me where's that pizza that makes sense to me now?
All right, yeah, okay. So on the menu, I'm sure it's got what milligrams per slice.
Just
and
give me
like
distillate to dip my breadsticks in. I'm probably good to go.
I bet they can sell a lot of Reveille.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, folks out there listening, the Reveille is our new cannabis reset. You can check that out at getyourshipright.com. What's that, Justin?
Well, and do they have like the Parmesan cheese, the red flakes, the oregano, and then like a weed shaker on the table too? Or like it's just a grinder that you can just dump your weed into?
That ain't parsley on there, is
it?
Yeah.
No. I can imagine because I know we got the new consumption lounge coming out in Kansas City, and one of the things that Joey over there is doing is putting together different restaurants that he's teamed up with and food trucks and all kinds of stuff to bring all kinds of good flavors to that. So
when you gonna have that guy on?
Pretty soon. Pretty soon. Yeah.
He's got some stuff moving, don't he?
Yeah. They're doing very, very well. Justin, do you guys have any consumption lounges up and running in New Mexico yet?
There's a couple down south, but we keep getting hit with the city ordinance ban for smoking, and then they have to get the variants for permits, and they're just slow rolling those. So we're working on it, but
because you could, if you have laws in your local system, they can put in what's known as a variance, and they can basically skip over that ordinance that's causing a blockage. That'd be pretty cool. I can imagine that cannabis companies have bread. They could probably spread around a little bit of that love to some not-for-profits and show the communities that they're dope. All right, here's one for you. Kansas City, Missouri. Okay, one day after Missouri approved recreational marijuana, developers were already rolling out ambitious plans to create a brand new entertainment district that allows people to consume cannabis. It's called the Smoky River Entertainment District. Okay, and the plan for it is to be built in the small village of River Bend, Missouri, along the Missouri River north of Independence. Now, here's a quote from Besame Hospitality, Joey Pentazzi. You go to any music venue throughout the United States, cannabis has been a part of it, whether you knew it or not, whether it was legal or illegal, said Besame Hospitality Group VP of Operations Marketing, Joey Pentazzi. That's why Pentazzi says it makes sense to turn the mostly unused land north of the Mississippi River into a massive entertainment district with wedding venues, amphitheater, clubs, restaurants, and spots for people to consume recreational marijuana. Now, this is a part of Missouri that just wasn't being utilized. It's a beautiful piece of property.
Isn't it the Missouri River?
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. He says, Joey said it's normalizing cannabis in everyday life. Now, Joey and entrepreneur Jack Mitchell are already involved in Missouri's medical marijuana industry. After Missouri approved the transition to recreational use, they're pushing this massive project on an ambitious project, trying to complete small developments by spring 2023. And I talked to Joey. He's really hoping that maybe by 420 they can get something going. So it's pretty cool. Mitchell expects the first phase to cost between 30 to 50 million to get the space ready for smaller events in the spring. He hopes that gathers interest, leading to future developments that could cost considerably more. So they're going to be looking for some investors out there, some investment groups, and I think there's some people that are talking to them. It's more than likely to happen on a fast timeline in River Bend because that community is really unique. And here's a quote from Jack Mitchell. The Missouri River used to go down there and up there and around there, and that area became a village back in the early 50s or somewhere around there, which has its own government and its own residents, Mitchell said. There's fewer than 10 of those residents in the 2,000-acre village, allowing Pentazzi and Mitchell to quickly make progress, getting the local government on board with their plans. So there's only 10 people that they had to deal with and get the approval of and all that. Because in Missouri, you can't just go do this right now in Kansas City. If you were to go put a consumption lounge in the middle of St. Louis, Kansas City, Columbia, something like that, they don't have those. They haven't put that vote forward yet to see if they're going to allow it or not within those communities. So what they did is they found a community that was 100% for it. So that's a really good little workaround, fellas. And here, this kind of
permitting won't be a big deal then.
Right, exactly. There'll be no variances. Mitchell admits it would take much more longer time in larger cities with more municipal responsibilities and residents who might raise issues with the project and its cannabis components. I'd say there's a big cannabis component to this place. Let's see here. So those are things that we can overcome here without those mitigation efforts because we don't have those large residential communities and we don't have those vested interests, Mitchell said. We have a blank slate. The plan is to start clearing out trees in the next few months to set the stage for festival grounds and the first few buildings. The 291 corridor, that's where we're at. This is from Bill Ham, who lives in the small town of Sugar Creek. He said the 291 corridor, which is where we're at, has been searching for its identity forever, said Bill Hammond, who lives in the small town of Sugar Creek, which controls some of the land where the district will eventually build a river walk. Now, this is a really cool part about this river walk. This is something that they're doing for that community, Beth says. It's pretty wild. He says it'll help draw more people to small communities who otherwise might not make it there. He said, plus, Sugar Creek's going to get a 40-acre Riverwalk park out of it, Hammond said. He said, this land we've had since 1949, and we've been ignoring it. Mitchell said that they'll have a big parking lot to make it easy to get to, but preventing impaired driving is going to be a big focus. He said rideshare, buses, and other safety measures will be designed into the project. So,
cough reveille.
Right.
Cough reveille.
Right. Yeah. So, man, what do you think, Justin? I know you guys down there have got lots of area and land down there that could be just absolutely wonderful touristy areas. because I've been, New Mexico's got a different vibe. It's not all smashed together like our cities are here. It's definitely it's low and under control. It seems a little bit, but
Full of green chili.
yeah. So I think it'll be cool to see what New Mexico does, because I know you guys have consumption lounges. We got them. Some of the other states, California does. I'm not sure which ones don't. I know that there's been some good efforts in Colorado to have some up and going, but I don't know of anything of this size that's ever been tried. Because you're talking about the amphitheater here. It looked like, I mean, it's a beautiful stage and room for thousands of people to see these shows. And I know that the entertainment group, I can't tell the listeners yet because it's all under wraps right now. But the entertainment group behind who's going to be putting these concerts on and everything, they're huge. They do big things, so it's going to be pretty cool to see.
It's okay. You can tell them it's Steve from K Kid. That's cool.
It's Steve. Steve. Rock the ozone. All right, so I want to go over something that's one of the listeners out there asked me to go over a little bit, and that's another part of these new laws. What's it look like if you're we'll use Steve as an example. For if you're K Kid Radio and you've hired Waxy Brown, what are your responsibilities as an employer to how to treat me as a legal cannabis user? So here's we obviously turned adult use, and that's going to be effective. That was effective December 8th, and then you'll be able to go into dispensaries around February 6th. So here's one of the things. What am I not allowed to do under Amendment 3? This is for you, Steve.
Okay.
Steve cannot discriminate against Waxy in hiring, firing, or terms and conditions of employment, or otherwise penalize Waxy or any employee who has a valid medical marijuana patient identification card for. Now, these are the things that Steve can't penalize me for. Having a valid patient ID card or legally using lawful medical marijuana off premises on outside work hours or testing positive for medical marijuana. You can't keep me from doing any of those things, Steve. I can use the medicine off premise, but I don't want to really get myself in trouble, but I sometimes use it on premise too, Steve. But don't fire me, okay? All right, exception 1. This does not
hear that.
All right, thank you. This does not apply to employers who would otherwise lose a monetary or license-related benefit under federal law. So, like, if I could get you in trouble for smoking weed, then you could get me in trouble. You could fire me. And then the other exception is these protections do not permit an applicant or employee with a valid patient card to use, possess, or be under the influence of medical marijuana while working on the employer's premises or during work hours. So I'm breaking all those rules. I'm fireable, I think, at this point. All right, question 2. Can Steve prevent Waxy from using marijuana outside of work? The answer is you can take disciplinary action against Waxy, whose lawful off-duty use of marijuana, 1, affects my ability to perform job-related responsibilities like this show. I'm doing just fine, so I'm free. You can't get me there. Or affect the safety of others. Tim, do you feel in danger?
Never.
That's what I'm saying. All right. Conflicts with a bona fide occupational qualification, and I don't know what that one means. So, all right. Can Steve and K Kid still drug test Waxy? Yes, you can. You're gonna have to catch me first. But however, if Waxy has a valid patient ID card, you cannot take action against Waxy for testing positive for medical marijuana. So you can test me, but you can't do anything with it.
You can do about it.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna pee all over the thing. I'm not just gonna hit where I'm supposed to. Just so you know.
Well, we'll send you the Quest.
Oh man. Yeah, third-party testing now. Tim likes third-party testing.
I do. I agree with it.
All right. Can Steve and K Kid still have a drug-free workplace? First off, there's no such thing as free drugs. Oh, can I still have a drug-free workplace? Okay, yep. The answer is yes, Steve. You and K Kid can have a drug-free. You're allowed to ban marijuana from your workplace. Don't look at my tray over there. You can prevent employees from possessing, using, or being under the influence of marijuana while working at K Kid during K Kid work hours, which I don't think those are specified anywhere in any of my contracts.
We work 365 days a year, 24 hours a day.
Great. All right.
But
whether
I don't
it's
have that rule.
Well, here's what's kind of crappy. Whether it's for personal use or medical use, so even if I need it for medicine, I'm gonna have to step outside. You cannot face liability for refusing to hire Waxy or disciplining him or discharging Waxy for working or attempting to work while under the influence of marijuana. So you can't get in trouble if you fire me because me and Tim are smoking weed in the back room and you catch us.
Before or after hours?
It's 365 or whatever he said. It's
Well,
like, yeah, 24/7, 420.
but it's okay to go across the street to the bar.
Yeah. All right, here's another. Yeah. Is that?
I mean, not really. Yeah, no. I mean, you can't come back hammered to work. I mean, that's just a given. I mean, but there are people that do it. I know plenty of surgeons that were alcoholics for decades, so why not?
Exactly.
Plenty of them? like a list?
I know more than I should.
Okay, yeah, you're right. All right. Question 5, Steve. Can Steve still inquire about Waxy's criminal history on a job application? I never filled out a job application for here, did I?
I don't have any applications.
I don't think people are allowed to work here except us. So I can see why you wouldn't.
You apply online.
Yeah, I bet you know how to get online and look at an application, Steve. All right,
Find
so
an application online.
The answer is
send it in.
The answer is yes. Yes, K-Kid Steve, in Missouri, it's legal for a job applicant to ask about the applicant's criminal history. However, a provision of Amendment 3 expunges the criminal history records, including arrest, plea, conviction, and sentence for certain marijuana-related offenses. This means your application cannot require the applicant to acknowledge the existence of or answer any questions about the expunged record. Yeah, you can't even ask me. A number of issues remain to be clarified under the new amendment, including exactly what evidence is required to establish someone's under the influence of marijuana, right? So that's the part where it's going to be tricky to see how they have that conversation going forward. Talking about how to test us for these, because I did that thing where I got tested in front of 65 police officers, smoked a lot of pot, and didn't fail one test. So to each his own, I guess. Every record's got its own skip, but I know mine's not going to be. I don't know. All I gotta say is consumption is not impairment. But it'll be interesting to see those updates as they come along, because when they finally team up with someone that's able to do that, or that they think is able to do that, it'll be a different kind of a ball game. All right, folks, it is 4:20. Roll them up if you got them. We are going to take a quick break because I need to do that same thing. You guys are listening to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour live from the Robust Cannabis Studios at K-Kid 92.9.
People always ask me, how do you do it? What's your secret? How long did it take? What kind of dedication do you have? How do you do it every day? Well, the truth is, I'm high as shit most of the time, and I wax off a lot. I mean a lot.
We're the best. High quality. Unique. Different. Unique. High quality. We're different. We're different. Premium brand.
What the hell are you doing?
Hiding.
Not very well.
Let's do it! Come on!
There's a bomb. How about a bomb? There's a bomb. There's a bomb.
There's a big bomb.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour, live from the Robust Cannabis Studios here at K-Kid Radio in the heart of the Grozarks. That's what I like to call the Ozarks here in Rolla. So let's talk about that for a second.
The OG.
Yeah, let's talk about growing. I want to
Hey, how's your grow Depot's doing well, right?
Yeah, doing
That's
good.
awesome.
Doing good.
Can I borrow some money? Oh,
Doing good.
Yeah.
Time to talk about Rays.
Yeah.
Justin, down in New Mexico, do you guys have home cultivation?
Yeah.
Oh, is there
Not anywhere near like Missouri does, but yeah, we've got it. The only difference is as an adult use, without a medical card, I can grow 6 plants without a permit or anything. I can just get some seeds and pop them and good to go.
That's pretty wild. And that kind of law brings normalization real fast. All right, so y'all know who Ed Rosenthal is? So Ed wrote a really famous grow book out there, and he had the anyway. We're going to read a little bit about it here. So Ed Rosenthal is a legend in cannabis, known for bucking the rules. The longtime cultivation author went up against the feds for providing medical marijuana to medical patients in 2003, and was ultimately sentenced to a single day in prison, time served. Rosenthal has devoted his life promoting cannabis. He's responsible for proliferating the classic South African landrace Durban poison, partnered with at least 50 European seed companies for multiple books in his Big Book of Buds series. And he even has a cultivar, Ed Rosenthal Super Bud, named after him. But he's never released his own genetics. And you wonder why with a guy like that. He's the most famous guy on the planet when it comes to that. So that is until now. Back in April, the DEA quietly acknowledged that cannabis seeds are legal. That's the DEA. Rosenthal began releasing seed packs alongside his books in May. Since then, rapper and cookies clothing mogul Berner has also embraced the idea, offering seed packs along with his recent From the Seed to Sale album release, which is one of his very recent album. And so cookies, they're putting their seeds everywhere. It's kind of
this is his new album.
It's dope. It's
Is
got
it?
It's got this really good called Hot Nail, I think, about E-Nail. Well, yeah, you gotta listen to it. It's really good. I'm a fan. I love Berner. I mean, a lot of people don't like Berner because he's industry, but I like Berner because I discovered his music before I even knew he had weed on the market. So then I realized that every single song is about his weed on the market, but all good.
Tell you what, it slaps.
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm glad Tim's using words like slaps. That's my jam right there.
That's all the hip kids are doing.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Okay, so the DEA's reasoning behind the affirmation that cannabis seeds are legal in the U.S. had everything to do with the 2008 Farm Bill that legalized hemp. defining and separating it from the pot we smoke as cannabis sativa with less than 0.03 delta 9 THC. When questioned about the legality of seeds, tissue culture, and other genetic material, the DEA response was that marijuana, yes, they still spell it weird with that H too, not with the J. They do the H still. The marijuana. That's what the government still can't spell what we smoke, but that's cool. And by the way, we didn't even name it that. You guys named it that in the beginning anyway. We like cannabis and weed and pot, not, they used marijuana because it was a Spanish word and they wanted to scare white people. And obviously that's not very effective nowadays. I don't know why it is racist. Absolutely racist. Anyway, seed that contains it meets the definition of hemp and therefore not a controlled substance under the Controlled Substance Act. So the seed itself doesn't contain enough THC to qualify being illegal under government law.
So what you're saying then, the word hemp is how the government handles everything in that industry, whether it's hemp, cannabis, marijuana, whatever.
Correct.
It's hemp.
Correct.
So we ought to be just using hemp.
I agree.
And we shouldn't have this 3% under Farm Bill hemp, over farm. I mean, it's one plant.
Well, then you got to be careful there because then the industry owns everything, right? We want the farmers to have access to being able to make products. Like I know I've had some amazing gummies out there that are not in the cannabis industry. So I never want to shut that down. You always want to give the farmers as much product placement for what they're growing as possible, I think. But I do agree with you that it is silly. But restrictions and laws, they come with the whole ball game, So that being said, we brought up Grow Depot, and I want to talk a little bit about that because in my area, you're probably listening on the radio on the FM side, and you're wondering, where can I get seeds? So I went over next door here, and I talked to Jesse at Grow Depot, and I said, man, let me see these genetics that you got. So I took his box of genetics from Grow Depot, and I have it in front of me. So I want to talk about a little bit about some of the genetics that you can get right here in Rolla at Grow Depot, and I believe at any of the Grow Depots, right?
You do have the box.
I have the whole box of genetics.
Got the whole box.
Yeah. So they carry a brand called Ethos, which is a really good brand, and I'm looking at an auto purple tie, which is pretty fire. Auto purple tie. I don't know. It's I wonder where it tells me if it's an indica or sativa.
So it's not illegal to buy the seeds. Obviously.
Right. No, it's perfectly legal.
So
read what it says on the side of the box.
Oh, that's so small. It says it's collectible, sold for novelty purposes only.
Right.
Yep. I think I've seen it as heirloom hemp as well that just happens to grow hot. It's kind of the wording that people have done.
Right.
So I think it was Delaware had like 40,000 hemp licenses because they didn't have a destroy mandate if it was hot hemp. So people were just growing cannabis in their basement. Like, I'm a terrible hemp farmer. Darn it. Like, I can't just get down to that 0.3. And it was 20, 25% THC and all that. They're just keeping it for home use.
Just having problems getting there.
Yeah. Oops.
All right. And here's a couple more of the strains that you got next door there. You got Pluto Cut. Man, that sounds cool. Planet of the Grapes. Now, see, that's a name that, would you guys have said that was a real or a fake name? Planet of the Grapes sounds cool. I should have came up with that one. I got competition out there in the weed naming market. Insane with a Z. That's pretty wild too. And then here's a good one. Candy Store.
Store.
It's got, look like it's got Dippin' Dots or something all over the package. That's pretty good stuff.
So how many seeds are in one of those packages?
3.
5.
No, some of them are 3. Some of them are. It's different. Like this one right here is 3.
Does it say 3?
Yeah, this one has 5.
5. Okay.
It just depends.
So what's the cost?
Oh, I don't even know.
The ethos are 65 for the 5 packs. And then you've got the Red Beard over there.
Yeah,
that's
I want to talk about Red Beard.
And then you have the Kindway Farms, which is 45. And what's it? There's one other pack over
Ozark
there.
Organics.
Ozark Organics over there, and that's $40.
Yeah, that Ozark Organics.
Those are mostly 5 packs there.
That's called Cheese Ganistan. That's pretty cool.
Cheese Ganistan.
Yep. Cheese Ganistan.
And are those auto flowers or not?
Yeah,
some are.
Yeah, you got choices.
Yep.
They got a strain called Samo. They got Banana Hammock. Isn't that type of weird underwear or something? Banana Hammock. I don't know. Sweet Crumble Pie.
I like how everyone was dead silent on that too. Like, no.
Move on.
Right, yeah. Captain Redbeard Seeds is a genetic that's really, really well known out there too. So they got Redbeard's Chem Dog Auto. That's a good one. and OG Kush, of course, the OG Kush. Banana WAP, that's the WAP. I can't say that on the radio, what that actually stands for, but you can Google the WAP, Banana WAP. Critical Kush, Green Crack. Man, you got New York City Diesel, Lemon Shiznits. I can say that, right? Can I
Too
curse,
late now.
Can I curse in any word if I use Snoop Dogg version? Maybe. I have to check the rules.
Hey, so how many home growers do we have now in Missouri?
Man, I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
I'll
look that up on the break.
Okay.
Because I'm curious too now. And they got Pineapple Chunk. But anyway, that's just a great big, what do you call it, careless plug. What do you call that? I forget what you call that. But
I like the plug.
shameless plug. It's a shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Grow Depot next door, man. You guys, if you're in my area, stop by and get you some genetics. Get growing. Pay that $100 to the state as soon as you can, and get those plants in the ground, because this is it's a brand new Missouri, so it's going to be a lot of fun for us to see where all this ends up. All right,
and any home grower that grows a Waxy Brown strain, when they start crossing their genetics around, let us know. We'll have some fun with that, I'm sure.
Let me know ahead of time. I'm not trying to have like a bunch of strains out there with my name on it. Yeah. Oh, Joe Schmo growing Waxy looks like brown. I don't like it. I don't know about that part. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about what not to do at an event. So it's Christmas time, season's here, holidays. So what don't you do at these things? You don't take a great big event and medicate the whole thing and not tell hundreds of people. That's what you don't do. A woman who attended a Florida wedding earlier this year has filed a lawsuit against the caterer for the event, alleging that the business served food infused with cannabis at the reception. Virginia Ann Taylor Savoda, the plaintiff in the legal action, says she became immediately ill after unknowingly eating food that was laced, and this is how she said it, laced with poisonous amounts of marijuana. This was in the Miami Herald. The wedding was held on February 19th in the city of Longwood, Florida, about 15 miles north of Orlando. After several guests reported that they felt high or stoned at the reception following the ceremony, medical personnel and sheriff's deputies arrived on the scene to render aid, eventually taking several guests to a local hospital for treatment. The police report filed after the wedding reception revealed that food served at the event was sent to a lab for testing. The reports of the lab analysis showed the lasagna and the bread served at the celebration tested positive for THC, the cannabinoid largely responsible for the highly commonly associated marijuana. So Taylor Savoda is her name. She's filed suit in Seminole County against Joycelyn Bryant and her company, Jolene's Southern Kitchen, asserting that she had no idea that the food served at the wedding reception contained cannabis. A complaint filed in the suit alleged that Savoda suffered from marijuana poisoning after consuming food served by Bryant's company. The lawsuit, which requests a jury trial for the case, accuses Bryant of negligence and seeks more than $30,000 in damages. Now, they say, here's what she quoted, Bryant knew or should have known that allowing the food served by Jocelyn's Southern Kitchen to be laced with marijuana was reasonably likely to cause injuries or damages to the wedding guests. Now, that's what the lawsuit says. Now, in April, Bryant and his bride were arrested and charged for violating the Florida Anti-Tampering Act, delivery of marijuana and negligence, according to the report from the county sheriff's office. Affidavits filed in the case alleges Savoda, quote, agreed and allowed Jocelyn Bryant to lace the food she served with cannabis unbeknownst to the attendees, many of whom became ill and required medical attention, according to CNN. When deputies from the Seminole County Sheriff's Office arrived at the reception, several wedding guests were being treated by county fire rescue personnel for, quote, symptoms consistent of that with someone who's used illegal drugs. Now, when the deputy asked the bride and her new husband whether they had requested or consented to the food being infused with cannabis, Andrew stared at the deputy with a blank expression for a few moments before stuttering, no. That's what the affidavit states. Mm-hmm. Lab tests showed 3 wedding guests had urine tests that were positive for cannabis, according to court records filed in the criminal case. Some wedding guests reported that they felt stoned and ill or high, the affidavit reports, while other guests said that they felt weird, tingly, fidgety, and had an extremely dry mouth after eating food served at the reception. When a woman asked the caterer if the food contained marijuana, Bryant, quote, giggled and shook her head yes, the report states. Now, I just want to say that if Reveille had been on the scene, we wouldn't have had a problem.
Right.
There wouldn't have been policing and all of these things that are happening.
And ambulance trips are pretty cheap, too. So imagine the savings for something like that. I mean, it's thousands of dollars to sit in the ER just to drink water and have some cookies.
Right,
That's all
right.
they're gonna do.
Right. And like the fact of the matter is, though, it's not something that you should do. Like some people don't want to use cannabis, so you shouldn't force people to use cannabis, especially.
Well, you shouldn't lace the food with it that you're feeding
No.
your guests as your wedding reception without them knowing about it.
Yeah.
That was the wrong thing to do.
But the dude that got married agreed to it.
I mean, I would have agreed to it.
Right.
I'd probably be in trouble for this whole thing, just to be real, too. But now I know better. Now that I read the article, not to.
Yeah, we had a dispo down here that did medicated gravy for Thanksgiving, 200 milligrams in turkey gravy, and they were selling it, and it was just one of those things I couldn't wait to see the results of that. We never had any problems from what I can see. So
Well,
You see
good.
what I'm saying? And
But they knew what they were buying.
should be, yeah.
Right.
And they knew their market. Like you can't just put it in cranberry sauce because not everybody likes cranberry sauce. Everybody likes gravy.
100%.
I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Sold out.
Yeah, but I mean, I also think that it's going to be cool to have like we've got that Smoky River Resort that's happening down there in Kansas City. I think that like having ability to go in and try infused foods, or even can you imagine a popcorn stand? You walk by it, it's got 50 milligram bag of popcorn for $10 or whatever. Like I'm buying that popcorn. I'm probably going to buy a couple of those popcorns. Like I think it'd be a lot of fun. Can you imagine a cotton candy stand that's you stop by and you got 3 different kinds of cotton candy at 3 different levels of medication, and maybe you got 25 milligram cotton candy, maybe you got 1,500 milligram cotton candy. I think we have rules against that, but that's what I'm saying. Like things could go a different direction now that we've got a legal marijuana market in Missouri where we can gift cannabis. We can, because I can imagine what like giveaways and stuff will be at dispensaries and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it'd be pretty cool.
What about gift certificates? I mean, if I wanted to buy you a gift certificate for Christmas, I can do that now. Well, after February.
After
correct?
February 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be able to buy you a gift certificate.
Thank you. Which from where?
Robust.
My
Thank you,
birthday's
thank you.
February 17th, by the way.
Oh, so you'll be ready for one then.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
We'll have to ask Tyler to get some gift certificates ready.
We should gift. That's what we should. We should gift Steve live on the air for his birthday, like some cannabis, because weed's legal now. You can't get arrested.
Let's see if that's on a Wednesday or not.
I don't know.
Now you got me all excited, Waxy. When is my birthday next year?
All right.
Next year.
Yeah, next year. But, yeah.
So before Steve, do we got time, or you got to take a break?
We're gonna do. We should probably take a break. We're at 42 after. Yep. Let's do a break real quick and come back, and we'll get Ray on the phone. Right?
Nope, Ray's not going to be able to make it today.
Oh, Ray's
it's too
not
cold
gonna
for
make
her car. Yeah. Right
Okay.
now. Yeah, but we send her warm vibes.
What do you got? You got.
Yeah, I got an
just
article I want to talk about
Okay, yeah,
Guam,
go
but
ahead.
it's
Yep,
good. It's a
yep,
good little
yep, yep,
conversation.
Go ahead.
All right, so let's talk about what's happening in Guam. Okay, so Guam went recreational quite a while back, and you'll be surprised when you look at like Missouri and how many companies came forward and put in licenses and all that. Like New York's crazy, New Mexico. I don't know. You guys were backlogged down there for a long time, probably still are, right? Yeah, Justin is gone.
Oh, sorry. I'm busy reading all the live chats and stuff and
keep
seeing what I
doing
can
that.
feature, you know?
I see Lauren on Facebook side said, I'll make special gravy for Steve's birthday. Thanks, Lauren. We appreciate you out there. All right, so newly established recreational cannabis industry in Guam is taking shape slowly but surely. This week, the government regulators in the United States territory have approved 11 so-called responsible officials to participate in the recreational pot market. But the Department of Revenue and Taxation says that no one has taken the next step of applying for a cannabis establishment license. No one. They're adult use down there, and no one wants the job. Earning that designation is a crucial step towards landing a license. So they need to land a designation of being a responsible official, and then they can put in for a license. And they've chosen 11 of these people so far. Jeff Wells, the chief executive officer of Metric, which is what we also use here in Missouri, the seed-to-sale tracking system Guam is using, said last year that the company was excited to rise to the challenge of this unique regulatory opportunity of not metricing anything. Metric is thrilled to partner with the Department of Public Health and Social Services as Guam builds its medical market. We look forward to working with regulators and licensed business owners to implement the island's first regulatory track and safe trace program. We're proud to play a part in ensuring the safety and security of the nation's legal can. That's what Metric says every place they go. But the measure legalized the personal possession of marijuana by adults, which they can have it down there. So now their black market is thriving like wildfire down there. because everybody, law permits anyone 21 and older to legally possess and transfer up to one and transfer. That means give to you, Tim, if I want to.
Gift certificate.
Up to 1 ounce of marijuana flower or 8 grams of concentrated cannabis concentrates. The measure took immediate effect, and it also says that people can cultivate their own 6 plants in an enclosed locked space. Public consumption is still illegal down there. The act they're drafting rules governing the plant's commercial production and retail sale. Okay, this has been done for over a year now. They have a 1 more year timeline to adopt the rules necessary. Now, they said that they gave they just gave the green light Monday to 2 more responsible officials. But the regulators had already given the go-ahead to 9 other individuals who earned the designation. These individuals were briefed about the next steps during a November 17th meeting and were given the application forms required to open their cannabis establishment. Now, here's the compliance supervisor for the department. He said they have it, they're working on their packet, but none of them have actually submitted anything yet for review or consideration at this time. Now, I'd have that done the next day and get this thing open.
Right.
But it's wild to me that, like, they have to choose a responsible official. Like, I know I would not qualify for that. Like,
Right, 100%.
at all. Like, so I would never have a chance of having a license in Guam. But it's interesting that, like, I'll bet you those 11 official people, some of them are with Curaleaf, some of them are with these big cats out there. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes down in Guam.
It's like all the politicians that got licenses in Arkansas when
Right.
they first came out.
Right.
Every one of them were received by a politician.
That's right. Yep. It's wild, man. It's theft in front of the people.
Right.
Crazy stuff. All right, folks, we are going to have to take that break. When we get back, we'll say our Christmas goodbyes. And you guys are listening to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour live from the Robust Cannabis Studios at K-Kid 92.9.
People always ask me, how do you do it? What's your secret? How long did it take? What kind of dedication do you have? How do you do it every day? Well, the truth is, I'm high as shit most of the time, and I wax off a lot. I mean a lot.
organic, different. We're the best. High quality, unique, premium brand, different, unique, premium, high quality. We're different. We're different. Premium brand. Oh my God!
What the hell are you doing?
Hiding.
Not very well.
Let's do it! Come on!
There's a bomb. How about a bomb? There's a bomb. There's a bomb.
There's a big bomb.
Where?
Look at this. Oh man.
Like right now, I still got a half day's work. What? Half day's work with work. I still have a half day's worth of work to
Truth be told, I smoke a lot of weed.
Hey, Green, I still have work to do.
Listen to the sound of my voice. You are getting sleepy. You want to wax off. You need to wax off. Donde está la biblioteca? Where is the library? You will wax off as soon as you can. Wax off. Good. Wax off.
Hey, hey everybody. I can't hear myself, man. Hey everybody, welcome back to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour. Have you got my mic on? I can't hear.
What? We can't hear you.
I can't hear me.
I can hear you. What? Huh? What?
Have got
You
me
are?
fixed yet?
Well, I can
Bueller?
Waxy.
Hi, how are you? How high are you?
I can't. I guess I can't hear me.
Well, maybe try turning up.
It's because I had the wrong headphones on.
Wow.
It was a good break, Justin.
Wow.
Welcome back to Waxy Brown's Flower Power
I
Hour.
can't hear me.
Live from the
I can't hear
Robust
me
Cannabis
talking.
Studios.
I can't feel my toes, man.
Oh, no, man.
Justin, we wanted to talk a little bit about your Vegas
Look
trip,
at him
man.
trying to change the subject, man.
Yeah.
Look, we went the whole show with
All
no
the
audio
headphones look
problems.
just the same over here, okay? So give a guy a break.
We went
you
the
know?
whole show with no issues, and then
Man.
I'm causing the issues. Right on. All right, Justin, let's talk about Vegas a little bit. I know you had
Yeah.
some stuff go down.
Yeah, so I went down to Vegas for the Creighton basketball game, the tournament against ASU and girlfriend's birthday and all that. And I'm in Vegas. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hit a dispensary and check out a Vegas scene and all that. So I'm on Fremont Street and I see this sign, real bright, cannabis, fan leaves. It says cannabis, edibles, pre-rolls, all this stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to hit that because it's close to my hotel, easy to go, right? So I walk in, hand them my ID. They walked in. They go, all right, so here's what we have. I was like, I'm just looking for an edible, something quick and easy. And she's like, well, we start at 200 milligrams, then we go 500, then we go 10,000 milligrams. And I was like, wow, Vegas gets down and dirty. And she goes, then we figure out if you want indica, sativa, all this kind of stuff. So I buy the 200 milligrams just because I don't need to go ballistic in Vegas, right?
Right.
And I get back to the hotel and I'm sitting there with Lisa. We're having dinner, and I look at this bag and I'm like, it doesn't have the THC warning on it anywhere. And then I look at it again. It says it doesn't even have the hemp warning on it anywhere. And I look at it and flip it over, and it says organic, lab tested, and all this other stuff. It wasn't even CBD. It was hemp oil. They were totally misleading people that it was a cannabis dispensary on Fremont Street. And so all the drunks going in with their, the liters of frozen daiquiris and stuff like that were lined up out the front to buy what they thought was weed and ended up getting nothing but hemp oil.
Which isn't going to get you high.
Oh, no, not even close.
How'd you sleep?
Yeah, you might sleep well.
Yeah.
I was so angry I couldn't sleep, to be honest.
Yeah, you
So
would
the effect wasn't very good at all, huh?
No, I mean, it was something where I ended up taking like 4 gummies just to like try and help me, like my legs from being sore from walking around on the strip and all that. But 100%, they were absolutely misleading people that they were selling cannabis. And I went out there the next day and watched, and it took about 7 minutes before there was a blip that said hemp, and then it blipped right off. That was it. Everything else looked, smelled, everything like a dispo, except for I could use a credit card, and they didn't put any of my information into the system like a seed to sale tracker. So
that should have been your first clue, is that they're using credit card systems and banks. even they have issues on the hemp side with banks, though.
Well, I think some of the bigger dispensaries out in Vegas, they take credit cards.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What was that, Justin?
Well, I would have done that, but there were 2 showgirls that were basically topless on Fremont Street that were doing like cartwheels and stuff on the front of the building. So I wasn't necessarily paying too much attention.
Credit cards aren't out on them, right?
Yeah, it was $30, so it wasn't too bad.
It's like a flashbang. Like you're looking. It's definitely like that's not good. That's bad. That's and to be honest, that sheds a light on like a bad light on cannabis and dispensaries as a whole when things like that happen. It's kind of wild too, because like those products that they have there, they can't cost much less than if they were to purchase products with cannabinoids in them. Like, why would you want to even put that out there? Was it all? You don't need a license. Well,
yeah. And
look
at the line they had, going out the door too.
And you don't need a license for Farm Bill compliant stuff though. And there's Farm Bill compliant stuff that'll get you plenty high and it has recreational milligrams on them.
Yep. But they didn't even have like D8 or HHC or THCO. None of that stuff was there. Everything in that shop was hemp oil.
Huh.
It was wild.
Yeah, I would have been angry too. It was
the most solid 1-star review I've ever seen of a business on Google in my life. Like every single comment was 1 star.
Did you give them a review?
They didn't have negatives.
No, they can't go negative. So no.
Can't go negative. All right.
0 stars. Like the weather's going to be in the next couple.
Yeah, it's going to get bad. We are at the end of the show.
Wrapping it up here, about 30 seconds.
Yep. I want to say Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Happy holidays. Justin, I know you're going to have a good holiday out there. Appreciate all the listeners out there. Steve,
will we be doing a show next week?
I think we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. We might do a best of or something.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I can do it.
We're good.
Yeah. All right, well, folks, you are listening to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour, proudly live from the Robust Cannabis Studios at KKID 92.9. Y'all have a very safe holiday out there.
We'll talk to y'all tomorrow morning.
Merry Christmas.
Stay waxy.